Well, good morning. So I'm Ron Relic. I'm your worship leader this morning. You know, it's hot outside, but we're keeping it cool inside with our online Zoom service, and we'll begin with announcements. Zoom has made some changes, and we have to change with them. When you logged into our Sunday worship service, you may have been asked to agree to being recorded before being allowed to enter the service. So this is a new Zoom feature that we cannot change. You'll still show up in our you will not show up in our recordings. Sorry, you will not show up in our recordings unless you unmute yourself during the service. You can also still turn off your video for added privacy if needed. Our recordings only show the person talking unmuted. Today is our annual congregational meeting. We encourage everyone to plan to attend the meeting after the service, especially members, but reserved voting is for members only. After our service today, we will not offer inquirers a coffee hour. We will instead invite you to log off, to take a quick break, and log back in using the link for the annual meeting that you will find in the chat, it's in the happenings, it's in the Sunday service email, Breeze, in the annual meeting email you were sent. So we will begin at noon. So noon for the meeting. As we take steps toward increasing our ability to be together in person, we want to hear your voice. So there's a survey posted in the chat and it's posted in the happenings, and we are asking for your names, but the only person that's going to see the raw data, including the names, will be Reverend Jenn. The data summary will be shared with the Toulouse board and the Toulouse COVID team. Each member of your family, though, can fill out this survey. So every single person can fill out the survey. John Murphy needs help. He needs help sorting caps and lids at the church to be turned into benches and tables. Please message John in the chat if you can help. Mindfulness has returned with half-hour sessions Tuesday nights and Thursday afternoons. Information for these sessions is in the happenings, Breeze, and in the events calendar on our website. Treat your mind to this moment of calm. We can all use one. Our Compassion for Campers homeless support program is ramping up for the summer months. Check the happenings for ways you or your group can help, including buying and donating shopping cards from Sandy Eckert. We're glad you're here. We're available to answer your questions. Hey, if you're new to Tree of Life, we hope you'll fill out the visitor online card that's posted in the chat. Feel free to introduce yourself during Joys and Concerns. We are, without exception, a friendly bunch, and we welcome a chance to get to know you. And we welcome all who have joined us this morning, and so begin our service. Well, welcome to the Tree of Life Unitarian Universalist Congregation online service. Our monthly theme is, this month, play. So the title of our service is With a Playful Spirit. Our speaker this morning is our interim minister, Reverend Jennifer Gracen, and she will begin our service with a call to worship. Reverend Jenn?
Thank you, Ron. Our call to worship today is in praise of technology and social media. So many of us have spent so much of the last year on social media and using technology, some of it that has been new to us. It seemed time to give it some praise. In praise of computers and routers and servers and all the hardware and software that can help us and has helped us build our connectedness. In praise of all the gremlins that live in the machines and bug our programs and help us to practice patience. In praise of the trolls who dwell in the internet and push us to live out our first principle in real time. In praise of power surges that eat our data and devour our final draft, for giving us the opportunity to rebuild and remember that our work is as much transient as it is transcendent. In praise of the error page not found, which reminds us that with some people we need to find new paths to make connections, because not everyone uses the same keywords. In praise of servers that drop our connections, which reminds us that all who serve have built-in limits to their capacity. In praise of communication and connection, whether it is face-to-face or Facebook to Facebook. We always risk errors, hurt feelings, and misunderstanding, but it is also always worth the risk. Amen.
And now Paul Krieg will read our chalice lighting words. Paul?
Good morning. The reading I chose for the chalice lighting this morning is by Lawrence J. Cohen. Young children play to learn about the world. Why aren't we amused when our toddler drops her food off the high chair for the 100th time? Because we know about gravity and we have to clean it up. She, however, is extremely amused because everything about the universe is new and interesting and open to playful discovery. I light the chalice this morning for the children in our lives and hope that we can relearn from them what it is to have playful discovery. Ah. There we go.
Thank you, Paul. And now please join us in recalling our purpose. We journey as a family towards spiritual growth, freedom in faith, celebration of diversity, commitment to action, devotion to each other, the community, and the earth. Our special music this morning is from our music director, Cassandra Vosteman, and she will be singing the song When I Sing, which she also has composed. So let's hear it. Cassandra with When I Sing.
Good morning, everybody. I wrote this song, actually, originally I wrote the lyrics back in 1998, and I never finished it. And then in 2012, shortly after my mom passed away, I wasn't feeling like singing, and all of a sudden one day I finished the song. Do with that information what you will, but I think that maybe it was divinely inspired on some level. But I grew up on a farm in rural Woodstock, and my fun consisted of spending a lot of time outside. Outside in the yard, outside playing in the grass with the cows, making mud puddles in the driveway, and I sang all the time, everywhere, to the point where my family literally needed to tell me to be quiet on a regular basis. So this song was written sort of as an ode to my childish singing identity, I guess would be the way I would put it. So this is called When I Sing. Ever since I was a little girl, I loved to sing, I loved to dance. I'd be out playing in the yard, singing to the wind every time I had the chance, making up songs about every little thing I could think of, from Holstein cows to running in the woods, and puppies and flowers and things that would cheer me up. I would always try to sing of things that were good, 'cause when I sing I feel the rhythm of the earth beneath my feet and the spirits that sang here before. And when I sing, it's like my heart is healed with every single beat, and I'm so thankful I can share it with the world. La 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 As I get older, I still find that singing brings me peace of mind. But my songs today are not the same. But when they come, I feel alive again. Writing songs about my life, my dreams of finding love, of losing hope and finding strength again. If I feel down, the music picks me up. When I'm alone, my voice is my best friend. When I sing, I feel the rhythm of the earth beneath my feet, and all the spirits that sang here before. When I sing, it's like my heart is healed with every single beat, and I'm so thankful I can share it with the world. La 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 la. You can tell my favorite part, right? La 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 la. La 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 la. When I'm alone, my voice is my best friend. 'Cause when I sing, I feel the rhythm of the earth beneath my feet, and the spirits that sang here before. When I sing, it's like my heart is healed with every single beat, and I'm so thankful I can share it with the world. Here we go. When I sing, I feel the rhythm of the earth beneath my feet, and all the spirits that sang here before. And when I sing, it's like my heart is healed with every single beat, and I'm thankful I can share it with the world. Oh, I'm thankful I can share it with the world. Oh, I'm so thankful I can share it with the world. La 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 la. Thank you very much. And go play.
Thank you so much, Cassandra. We felt the spirits. Our reading this morning comes from the Reverend Jane Rainey Rzepka, and she was the former minister of the Church of the Living Spirit, which is the one that is online. That's a congregation online for people that aren't near a UU church, and she comes from New England. It's called The Glove in the Subway. A one-paragraph newspaper article describes a subway platform during the morning rush hour at Grand Central Terminal. A train pulls in. A well-dressed woman gets off. Before the doors close, the woman realizes she's holding only one of her leather gloves. She looks back into the train and spots the matching one on the seat. It's obviously too late to dash back in to retrieve it, so with a cavalier shrug, she flings her arm out, and the door's about to close, tosses her glove onto the seat alongside its mate. The door is shut. The train pulls away. What a great image. One could use it, I suppose, as a metaphor for facing the inevitable, or arguing for an orderly universe, or even, with a little stretch, for sharing the good things in life. But as we move into the summer season, the metaphor that comes to mind is the one of letting go. To throw a favorite leather glove into the oblivion of a moving train must involve small pangs of uncertainty, pangs of some degree of loss, pangs of upset. I mean, after a lifetime of struggling not to lose our mittens, then our gloves, cavalier abandonment does not come easy. In New England, at least, our pattern is to cling, as we cling to our gloves, to routine hard work and obligation all fall, all winter, and right through to the 4th of July. But in the summertime, there is a letting go. We close up our schools, our churches, we put our overcoats in mothballs and dust off the swan boats, the lobster pots, and last year's new gas grill. We need that. We need to cast off that glove of responsibility, cast it back into the train. We need a vigorous and decisive toss about now to free ourselves of the confining gloves of life, even if we love them. And the train's about to leave.
In early March of 2020, we were all hearing about the spread of this concerning disease, COVID-19, the coronavirus. And there was a lot of uncertainty about what this was and what it meant. And then on March 11th, 2020, the world changed as the coronavirus was declared a pandemic. We began to experience losses, even before the loss of life impacted many of us directly. In quick succession, congregations such as ours put a hold on in-person services. Illinois and other states issued their first stay-at-home orders, expected to last just a couple of weeks. I was in Michigan at the time, and I remember the surreal feeling of the streets on the first day the businesses shut down and everyone who could was instructed to stay home. We hoped, and in many cases we believed, it would only be a couple of weeks before we were able to be back together, to return to normal. And we now know how wrong we were. As time continued, the virus raged on, claiming an increasing number of lives. And our attempts to manage it and stay safe as a country and a world were complicated by disagreement and politics. But we do know many things now. We know that the virus was in the United States long before we thought it was, as early as January or February. We know that political disagreements and fights damaged our ability to fight the virus and keep each other safe. And we know we have 3 effective vaccines that will help us protect ourselves and those around us. The last year has brought us a number of feelings and experiences, from increasing anxiety to worry for ourselves and our loved ones, anger at what has been going on, loneliness, isolation, uncertainty about how long this would continue. And as the vaccines have become available, things have begun to change. And how we approach that change is what I want to talk to you about today. In such times as this, we can be tempted, as our reading told us, to try to reclaim what was left behind, to get everything back the way it was. We can want to go back to exactly what it had been before, to find a way to get that glove that was left on the train, even after it's gone. But it's up to us to decide what to do next. Can we accept what has happened? Can we toss the other glove with trust and a playful spirit? To be like the woman in Jane's story, she didn't know what would happen. She didn't know if somebody else would find the glove. Would it get knocked off the seat and stomped on? Would somebody think they had been stolen? Her playful response came from her ability to just let go. She didn't have to be attached to the outcome. The story resonates with me because she wasn't picturing a specific outcome when she made her decision to move forward. She was able to act in trust that she would be okay without those familiar, loved gloves. What gloves of ours might we want to hold loosely right now, to consider with a playful spirit? the way we've always done committee meetings, worship, our rituals, what religious education looks like, how our building is used, how we participate in the congregation, how we invite people into membership and even leadership, how we think about and create our mission and vision. Like many Unitarian Universalist congregations, we follow a calendar of spiritual themes called Soul Matters. And these themes are determined a year ahead of time. And last June, the planned Soul Matters theme was play. When the pandemic began, the leaders of Soul Matters decided it might not be the best time for that theme. And they offered an alternative theme for June 2020, compassion. But they made a commitment to return to play as a theme for June 2021. What an act of faith. They were counting on us being ready to explore playfulness at this time. Are we? As we take steps towards regathering in person, are we prepared to see one another as companions in creating joy? Are we prepared to approach new challenges as opportunities to explore, to try new things? Are we able to stay open to how things might look moving forward? To be ready, if necessary, to toss that second glove in and trust that it will land where it is needed, and we will be just fine without it. I invite you to consider those questions. And as I close today, I'd like to share one more story with you. This one comes from Teresa Honey Youngblood and is called Blessed Are the Magic Makers. She says, one glorious spring day, I was on a field trip with a group of middle school youth, venturing a short way down the Florida National Scenic Trail. We were aiming for a small swimming pool about a mile in on a new section of trail, but halfway there, we heard and then saw an arresting sight up ahead. 2 large eastern diamondback rattlesnakes, who upon hearing us come around the bend had coiled their considerable bulk and were making a bone-chilling noise with their impressive tails, their heads held aloft half a foot off the ground. We felt awed and chastened to have encountered them. Still, after waiting in vain for 10 minutes for them to move on, we turned and went back the way we came, intending to find an alternative route to the spring. But the alternative path we chose was through a section of grass that, while free of venomous serpents, was full of very large, very sharp sand spurs, a fact we somehow missed until our group was a ways in. We could see the main path to the swimming pool ahead, but we had to pick our way through the spurs to get there. Behind us, of course, were the rattlesnakes. In the midst of our homegrown monsters, what did the youth do? They started playing. A few of the more athletic youth sprinted ahead and then cheered the rest of us as they picked the spurs from their socks and skin. As one made her way out of the pokey grass, she joyfully tossed her tennis shoes to a classmate wearing flip-flops. A few held hands in a vertical line and danced their way through, the first saving the 2 behind her from the brunt of the burrs. Neurochemically, pain and euphoria are kissing cousins. Blessed are the magic makers, often our children and youth, and some lucky adults who retain the charm, who can transmute one to the other in the most unexpected and needed moments. My beloved spiritual companions, may we dance together through the coming months as we navigate the spurs of regathering as a congregation and in our larger community. May we explore the possibilities with grace and be willing to toss our gloves onto the subway with a playful spirit. May we invite joy into our gatherings as we move forward together. Blessed be. Amen.
And now we remind you about our offering. Each week we do take an offering that will support the work of the congregation and our lives in the community and the world, and the 3 ways to give. You can text to give. Got that number, and you can just put in a number and it'll go off to the general fund. You can do it pledge-wise too, and go online on Breeze. You've got a Breeze account, and you can do it online at the Tree of Life UU site. And mail a check. Snail mail still works. 5603 Bull Valley Road in McHenry. So indicate which fund. Is it pledge? Is it Second Sunday? Or does it go into the general fund? And as always, we give thanks for these gifts and for all the gifts you bring. And now we move on to joys and concerns. Sharing our joys and concerns is a sacred moment in our worship when we open our hearts to receive and embrace each other's lives. If there's something new in your personal life, an event, a situation of joy or of challenge, something that touches you, please feel free to share this to help our community grow in connection. All announcements appear in our newsletter unless there is a request to be withheld. So I'll look to see, and I will try to unmute those who might have raised a hand. Billy, do you have anything this morning? About Jess?
Yes, I wanted to share a joy. As many of you know, the Woodstock Pride Fest is next weekend. And my joy is that we have such a wonderful event and that it's going to, last year it looked a little different. And so this year my understanding is there's going to be more of an in-person event. And I'm super happy that we have such a loving community that has an event that we can all go to and celebrate Pride. So I hope to see a lot of you there. Thanks.
Very cool. Hope to be there. All right, Sue Kaz.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, we have a great joy that we are on the road. We're just going through Spokane, Washington,
Oh, wow.
headed to Seattle, and we are so excited that we can Zoom the meeting and have our vote count. Woo-hoo!
Wow, that's awesome. Thanks so much for doing that. Watch out for the Cascade Mountains. They're coming up.
Okay.
In a while.
All right. Thanks.
All right. Let's see who else we got. Let's see. Cassandra.
Yes, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay. I just wanted to share, it's a concern, and just share with you kind of what's going on. My 6-year-old nephew, Max, as some of you have heard about before, is having open heart surgery a week from Wednesday.
Geez.
It's the 4th open heart surgery he's had since he was born. He was born with a double inlet left ventricle, which basically means he kind of has half a heart. And so he's had multiple surgeries. We didn't know this was going to happen this year. And so we literally just found out about it a couple months ago. And this is also, my sister is his grandma, the one that's been fighting cancer. So we've just had a lot going on. But my sister's feeling better, so that's good. And so if you would just keep him in your thoughts, the surgery is on June 16th. It's an open heart surgery. And I'm very joyful about getting to sing my song for you all today too. So there you go. How's that?
Well, that was a great joy, but gosh, we share with you, your sister, and Max our heartfelt prayers. And man, that's rough. And it looks to me like that could be it. So we will now honor all those unexpressed joys and concerns that I know you have out there, those that remain on our hearts, and we will do so for the space of 3 relaxing breaths. And now it looks like we're going over to our next second hymn with Billy. Let It Be a Dance, one of our favorites.
Let it be a dance we do. May I have this dance with you through the good times and the bad times too. Let it be a dance. Let a dancing song be heard. Play the music, say the words. Fill the sky with sailing birds. Let it be a dance. Let it be a dance. Let it be a dance. Learn to follow, learn to lead. Feel the rhythm, feel the need. To reap the harvest, plant the seed. Let it be a dance. Let it be a dance we do. May I have this dance with you through the good times and the bad times too. Let it be a dance. Everybody turn and spin. Let your body learn to bend like a willow with the wind. Let it be a dance. Let it be a dance. Let it be a dance. A child is born, the old must die. A time for joy, a time to cry. Take it as it passes by. Let it be a dance. Let it be a dance we do. May I have this dance with you through the good times and the bad times too. Let it be a dance. Morning star comes out at night. Without the dark there is no light. If nothing's wrong then nothing's right. Let it be a dance. Let it be a dance. Let it be a dance. Let the sun shine, let it rain. Share the laughter, bear the pain. And round we go again. Let it be a dance.
Ron, do you want to go to the centering now?
Yes, we could go to the centering with Reverend Jenn.
All right, give me one moment. This is a perfect example of approaching things with a spirit of playfulness. And the reading I have for you today is A Blessing for Risk Takers and Failures by Robin Tanner. Today we share in a blessing for losers, risk takers, and all failures far and wide. Blessed are they who fall in the mud, who jump with gusto and rip their pants, who skin the elbows and bruise the ego, for they shall know the sweetness of risk. Blessed are they who make giant mistakes, whose intentions are good but impact is injured, who know the hot sense of regret and ask for mercy, for their hearts will know the gift of forgiveness. Blessed are they who have seen a D or an F or a C or any letter less than perfect, who are painfully familiar with the red pen and labels as less than, for they know the wisdom in the imperfect. Blessed are they who try again, who dust off, who wash up, who extend the wish for peace, who return to sites of failure, who are dogged in their pursuit, for they will discover the secret to dreams. Blessed are they who refuse to listen to the naysayers, for their hearts will be houses for hope. Blessed are they who see beyond the surface of another, for they will be able to delight in the gift of compassion. Blessed are they who stop running the race to help a fellow traveler, who pick up the fallen, who stop for injured life, for they shall know the kindness of strangers. Blessed are they who are wildly, boldly, abandon winning, for they shall know the path of justice. May we hold these joys and the sorrow in our hearts as we move forward this week. Thank you.
The ours a religion which like sunshine goes everywhere, its temple all space, its shrine the good heart, its creed all truth, its ritual works of love, its profession of faith, divine living. I will now extinguish this chalice. If you have a chalice or flame at home, you can do the same. We extinguish this flame of communal worship and now carry its light within us. We share this light. We carry its warmth to all whom we meet.
Let it be a dance we do. May we embrace the spirit of dance. May we embrace the spirit of play as we go forth into our annual meeting and into the week beyond. May we look joyfully for the possibility that abounds. Go in peace, go in love. Amen.